Member for Hasluck.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I want to say thank you to the member for Canberra for sharing those insights from a personal perspective with us. I also rise to talk on the condolence motion for the 3 ABC journalists killed in a helicopter crash. I offer my condolences on behalf of the electorate of Hasluck to the families of the 3 ABC staff killed in a helicopter crash last week, 150 kilometres northwest of Murray in Lake Eyre region. And I watched that 7:30 report that the member for Canberra referred to, and what I got a really good sense of was the individualism of the 3, but the spirit of the essence of who they were and their work. And then you look through the eyes of a cameraman at the scene that he was shooting. What you saw was an incredible encapsulation of the absolute richness and beauty of the Australian landscape. And I suppose in one sense the 3 epitomise what the ABC has always strived to do, and that is to provide within Australia innovative and comprehensive broadcasting services of a high standard. And you don't achieve that unless you have the quality of staff like these 3 were. To broadcast programs that contribute to a sense of a national identity and inform and entertain and reflect the cultural diversity of Australian community. And I saw that regularly, and I see it regularly through ABC programs. And Paul Lockyer, who comes from my hometown of Corrigan, his stories really went to the heart of a community or the heart of a group of people and reflected their feelings, the way in which they saw the world from their patch within Australia. And the combination of the 3 was an incredible combination. It was like, and I'll use this term, the 3 amigos, because they were very rarely apart when they were working together. And the interpersonal relationship that seemed to prevail, and those very powerful still images of the 3 of them standing there with the helicopter in the background, in a sense captured the relationship that the 3 had in the context of their work. I had the incredible privilege of being the chair of the ABC Advisory Committee for 2 years, and I got to know many of the ABC people. I got to know the professionalism, but more importantly, what I got to appreciate and have a real sense of was the family, the family element that was so strong within the ABC. The ABC is important, and the people who do the work on the ground, who deliver the programs and services we take for granted, provide Australian society with a communication network that reaches into the remotest regions of this nation, and that the work that they pull together is of a high standard and high quality. And they often do it with meagre resources. But the resources have never been a constraint in the quality of what they have produced and delivered for all Australians in the context of their work. The passion that was certainly evident in
Proceedings will resume when the chair of the main committee is resumed at the conclusion of the division or subsequent divisions.
The member for Hasluck in continuation.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. The loss of these 3 in particular would have been a significant blow within the ABC, given the closeness of the people who work together. And the member for Canberra, in describing the staff of the ABC as one large family, has certainly been exemplified many times in my interactions with the ABC. Journalist Paul Lockyer, pilot Gary Ticehurst and cameraman John Bean were tragically taken away from their families, their friends, their colleagues and the nation, and their deaths are a tragic blow to journalism in this country. Without risk, there is no reward, and these men took their pursuit of balanced and informative news to the highest level. There has been a raft of wonderful and touching stories that have come out of the ABC and the wider news community in the past days of friends and colleagues of the three men recounting their experiences together. What touched me in Canberra was the comments many people had put in the condolence book in the ABC offices within Parliament House. Paul Lockyer had spent some over 40 years as a journalist and covered some of the most important and historical moments in our time, both in Australia and abroad. I think that the sentiments that were expressed by their families at the end of the 7:30 report superbly encapsulated the degree of emotion, the degree of respect and the deep love that family members had for the three. From overseas postings in Asia through to leading the coverage of the Queensland floods, Paul was a beacon of everything good and honest about Australian journalism. The ABC has produced many great staff, superb journalists, brilliant cameramen, and have put together over the last 40 years some of the incredible stories that we take for granted on a nightly basis. And their growth has been epitomised through their 24-hour dedicated channel to news. They capture the essence of who we are. They produce the quality that brings to every home what Australia reflects, what individuals reflect, and our way of life. And in closing, Mr Deputy Speaker, I would just like to add my condolences to the families of the three who we've lost. Thank you.